All right, well, we still don't know what exactly the chemicals were that were released onto Roseland after last week's Smitty supply explosion.
But in the meantime, environmental crews are racing against the clock to keep that oil from reaching Lake Pontchartrain. Maddie Kurth is live on the Tangipahoa River. Truly a race against time, Maddie.
Hey, Lucy and Rob, good morning. And this is as close as we've been able to get to take a look at that effort to clean up, recover, and maintain as much of this substance as you can. Now, we've heard from the EPA that they have utilized 10,000 feet of these booms, these containment booms. That's the orange and white stretches of cloth that you're seeing in there. And then something else we've seen at this site, an interesting demonstration I have for you, is that the EPA is using these cloths here. It's almost like some cotton mixed in, just like a rag. And I'll give you a look at how much oil we're seeing in the Tangipahoa River right now. I'm just going to dip this right here into a little pocket of water here. It's coming up pretty sludged, pretty much black. So all along here, along the river, we're about 35 to 40 miles away from the Smitty's supply explosion plant here. Now, Governor Jeff Landry, he's cautioned our residents, as you just heard in Chris Joseph's story, to wait to clean those homes until the investigators have learned exactly what they're dealing with here. He says that the samples are right now being tested, but those results are not instant. He does say that the drinking water is safe and that the DEQ is monitoring the air every day. So far, it's been so good. Yesterday, Smitty's issued its first statement since the fire. It was an apology. The company said that it is supporting the EPA in its cleanup effort here and that it's committed to rebuilding the plant in Roseland. But of course, some neighbors are telling us they're scrubbing off all that soot and they're just not ready to move on.
I don't see any fish busting the surface, which I always see because I feed them every day.
You know, Roseland's been having a fear of that happening for years, you know, and it finally did, you know. So I hope they don't rebuild.
It's hectic, but, you know, I'm happy that I'm safe, but I still have responsibility to take care of my family.
So we do have local, state, and federal partners all working to clean up on this explosion site. It will be the ATF to determine the exact cause of that explosion, and of course, we're still waiting to hear back from them. Now, as for the roughly 400 people that are now without a job, the Louisiana Workforce Commission has mobilized some units in Hammond. They're set up from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day this week to help with things like unemployment benefits and resume building. But for now, if you're driving here along the Tangipahoa River, it looks a lot like a dump site. You know, ironic enough to say that this is going to be the greatest effort they're making to clean up here. Got to get it a little bit more dirty before we can clean it up. But that's the latest here. Reporting live on the Tangipahoa River, Maddie Kurth for Fox 8 Local First. We'll send it back to you.
Hey, Maddie, nice job with that demonstration there. The boom that you're standing next to, does that appear, if you will, like the last line of defense, or is there more boom beyond that? And if so, does it look like there's some
Rob,
of that
there's
oil
much more
going beyond the boom?
Right, much more to see and much more to capture. So this is a spot that's probably about a 5 minutes drive up the river from Lee's Landing, which is where we had Rob Masson out live yesterday. There are more containment booms there. So any oil that leaches past these booms will go through another layer and then subsequently some more before it reaches further down the river. We did hear from the EPA late last night that Lee's Landing is as far as the oil has encroached as far as getting close to Lake Pontchartrain, but we do expect to get some updates here today as they continue the effort.
Maddie, one more question from me. We had Christy Trail from the Pontchartrain Conservancy on earlier this morning saying that they're doing their own tests out there, but that they too are really disappointed about how little information they've gotten from the DEQ, the last press release being Monday. What's been your experience trying to reach out to the DEQ? I know you just mentioned the EPA as well. Any more that you can give us on what they are actually sharing about what this stuff is?
So from the DEQ, I do know that they have had their air monitoring trucks out there near the plant site, and they are keeping tabs, you know, in real time with those measurements. And we've heard everything from the state government saying that the air quality is okay right now, the drinking water, the water quality is okay. Of course, the first thing they need to figure out is exactly what chemicals were released. That is going to help them then assist in maintaining and recovering this. You can see some of these efforts now with an airboat coming down here through these containment booms. It might get a little bit loud here. I'm going to speak closer into the microphone, but really just a live, close look at what's happening here.
Incredible. Maddie Kurth.
But you bring up
Yeah.
a great point.
Go ahead.
Bring up a great point, Lucy, if I may, just one more thing.
Sure, go ahead, Maddie.
Did that just move oil beyond the boom?
Yes, so that water is now pushing past the boom. It's coming up now, as you can see, as Cole pans over here a little bit closer to the bank here. We're underneath the Highway 22 bridge, so where Highway 22 crosses over the Tangipahoa River. Now, of course, when the airboat swings through, it's moving all of this water and sloshing it around. But again, I'll emphasize there are further containment booms around this bend of the river, so that airboat is able to slide over them, but it will hit some more containment before it reaches down there to Lee's Landing. But I did want to say one more thing, too, to your point, Lucy, is that the state has told us so far, all of their preliminary results have come back that the water is safe, the air is safe, that people are safe to be here right now. There's a lot of community frustration and a lot of questions as to what exactly the oil is and what is the best maybe cleaning process to clean it up. And that is where people's frustrations really lie, as you heard in the folks that Chris Joseph spoke to yesterday.
Right.
That is where people are really demanding their answers.
Maddie Kerr, thank you for your reporting, and to your photojournalist, Cole Walker, as well. We'll see you soon.